Good evening and welcome to a program devoted entirely to lefties losing it. Let's start, lefties, with a little frivolity before we get into the serious stuff, the vile, reckless rhetoric of the increasingly radical left that has incited yet another assassination attempt against President Trump. And I regret to inform you that the real Kamala is back, and I have the videos to prove it. But let's start with this lefty dude losing it and threatening a young man who he says insulted him. Was there a misgendering?
Get the out of my face now!
Ooh, that was very rude of you.
Get the out of my face!
Do you want to go to jail, sir, ma'am? I don't really know what to call you.
You're done, man.
I'm done.
Get the police, you just insulted me.
Ooh, that escalated quickly, and the anger levels did not diminish with this lefty losing it. Here comes the threats.
And I could tell the police to get you.
I'm vegan, so don't say that. Listen.
Told me, man, you really get the out of my way right now.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
You do not have a release. I will sue you.
You're gonna sue him? Don't sue him, man, because we're trying to just.
You do not have a release. If you post this, I will destroy you. I will destroy you.
Destroy you? Geez, that seems unnecessary, but there is a happy ending to this interaction. Watch as the lefty losing it considers taking off his shirt for a punch-on before reconsidering, and then the surprise ending.
I will destroy you.
Keep going on. I got my crew with me now. I got my crew. Yeah! Yeah! What's up? Woo! Who won? Who's next?
Oh, kids these days. And talking about kids, look at how this little tyke goes from happy to horrified when he spots a furry. Can't blame him. Look, I'm sure after many years of indoctrination in the public school system, that kid will learn to recognise that furries and the ever-expanding 2SL, LGBTQIA++ community are all stunning and brave, always. And he better learn that there are more than two genders.
How many genders are there?
I feel like there's two, because like transgender.
No, Tara, stop. Why? Don't say that on camera.
Yeah, but I feel like you either switch from a back and forth.
No, stop. Stop. I feel like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to be, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, but I feel like they switch back and forth. Like, I know.
Yeah, but like, it doesn't really matter. Like, there's like, you can be anything you want to be. It doesn't matter. Come on, stop.
All right, I'm sorry.
There was North Korean vibes there. The fear of saying something offensive to trans activists or to leftists in general, the fear of being cancelled. The Chinese Communist Party has a social credit system to keep its citizens in check, and it looks like something similar exists in the West. The self-censorship and fear there was real. Now to the ladies of The View, and here Joy Behar indulges in more crazy, reckless rhetoric, claiming that Donald Trump is such a threat that every artist must back Kamala to save the Republic.
In this emergency that we're in, I think that the Who's artists should come out and speak for Kamala against Donald Trump, because he is an existential threat to the country. What do you say to that?
They speak like this even after an attempt on Trump's life 2 months ago that left a man dead, and Trump escaped death by millimetres. And talking about reckless rhetoric, here is Democrat Rep. Jasmine Crockett saying MAGA is a domestic threat just a few hours before another attempt on Donald Trump's life.
I talk about the fact that when we swore in finally in January, that we swore to defend against those that are coming against us, whether they are domestic or international. And right now, I feel like MAGA in general, they are threats to us domestically. And we see it time and time again.
But don't worry, it's not like the media will hold any of these people accountable. Kamala Harris wasn't even asked about her and the Democrats' inflammatory rhetoric in the lead up to the assassination attempt during that debate. Here's just a small sample of prominent Democrats, actors, singers, politicians, news anchors, inciting violence against Trump and Republicans in general.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And the lies and incitement has never stopped, not even after that first assassination attempt, not even after today's developments. Indeed, MSNBC decided that it is Trump and his camp who need to tone down the violent rhetoric.
We do not know, again, the source of any gunshot or gunshots. We don't know who's responsible for this. The whole thing has yet to be 100% confirmed from start to finish how this all played out. But do you expect to hear anything from the Trump campaign about toning down the rhetoric, toning down the violence, or would that be atypical of the former president?
Unbelievable. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You don't hate the leftist media enough. You think you do, but you don't. And here is Lester Holt on NBC blaming Trump, not the crazy leftists trying to kill him.
Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio.
Disgraceful, deplorable, but predictable. And talking about baseless lies, here is Kamala at the so-called debate, which was really a 3 versus 1 setup. Remember her repeating that dangerous Charlottesville lie?
Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
That ugly, dangerous, divisive lie has been debunked again and again, even by left-wing sites like Snopes. I first debunked it 7 years ago. But here's the proof one more time. This is what Trump actually said about the white supremacists.
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay?
Could it be any clearer? And it's all on video, and yet they persist with this lie. And of course, the ABC moderators refused to fact-check that verifiable lie. They knew it was a lie when she said it. And while we're on the Veep, the real Kamala is back, the weirdly laughing, incoherent vice president with the multiple accents. Here's another one.
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters. And my sorors. And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
And Kamala did another interview. It did not go well. She was incoherent, obtuse, and made zero effort to answer the questions asked.
When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are 1 or 2 specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard. She was able to finally save up enough money to buy our first house when I was a teenager. I grew up in a community of hardworking people, you know, construction workers and nurses and teachers.
What do well-kept lawns have to do with the question asked? And yes, I noticed the start of the answer was almost word for word what she said during the debate when she failed to answer the same question. And we're only halfway through her incoherent response.
And I was raised to believe and to know that all people deserve dignity. And that we as Americans have a beautiful character. You know, we have ambitions and aspirations and dreams.
Word salad Kamala is back. It's little wonder that after the debate, when Kamala and the president visited New York for 9/11 commemorations, it was Trump that got the biggest cheers, and the same thing happened in Pennsylvania. Have a look at this remarkable footage from Shanksville in the Keystone State. The reaction when Biden and Harris enter compared to when Trump enters a few moments later. No wonder President Biden was donning a Trump hat. And no, this image isn't AI, it's a real image. Here's how it happened.
Come on. I ain't going that far. Yeah. We're doing a selfie. There you go.
Let's check in with Gwen Walls, the wife of Kamala Harris's VP pick, Tim Walls. She seems nice and not at all deranged.
You just show me this. Turn the page, right? Turn the page. And you know what else that looks like? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Donald Trump. We are turning the page. 52 days and we are turning the page. 52 days and it is bye-bye, Donald Trump.
Okay, I would have thought turning the page would involve getting rid of the current lot in power, and that's the Democrats last I checked. But anyway, talking about Democrats, she's back. Hillary is back with a wackadoodle MSNBC host, Rachel Maddow, and Hillary reckons that the media is too soft on Donald Trump. And note, this interview is after the second assassination attempt on Trump's life, inspired by the Dems labelling him a threat to democracy. So why don't we do that some more?
And I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is. You know, the late, great journalist Harry Evans one time said that, journalists should, really try to achieve objectivity. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object. Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump, his demagoguery, his danger to our country and the world, and stick with it.
Stick with it? Until when? They successfully have him assassinated. And of course, Maddow did not call out Hillary's ugly, inflammatory rhetoric. She just encouraged it.
He's still being taught, especially by the media, that the more offensive he is, the more he can dominate the media space entirely. And I feel like you've been a good diagnoser of that.
Now to a lefty who claims the assassination attempts against Donald Trump are no big deal.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't hearing pew-pew fire in the red state of Florida as common as hearing birds sing? I'm sure it wasn't personal. Please don't flatter yourself.
Charming, charming. And here we have a man who claims he was misgendered at the pharmacy, apparently calling him sir, damages masculinity. See if you can understand what this is about.
So I got served today at the pharmacy, and I'm not saying men can't look like this, because please go off, kings, but like, I'm not doing damage to masculinity. I think y'all are when you serve me, when you call me a man, right? Like, I'm not a man. Don't consider me for the pool of men.
Done, dude, whatever you want. And here is Kamala Harris's stepdaughter, who is a far-left activist and a model. She is a professional model. She posted this to Instagram last week. It's a collaboration with fashion brand Tory Burch. They produce hideously ugly shoes, among other things.
Oh my God, are you Ella Imha?
Yeah.
What song are you listening to right now?
Well, I'm wearing a Tory Burch top, a Tory Burch skirt, Tory Burch heeled loafers, and obviously the Tory Burch Kira bag. Thanks, have a good one.
Wait, what?
We've got not one, but two ladies of The View coming up shortly. But first, let's start with Taylor Swift, possibly the biggest pop star in the world today. And she's recently endorsed Kamala Harris, but it's not the first time she's backed a political candidate. Sadly, it appears Swift, who has built a stellar career writing songs about her many bad choices, appears to be what is called a low-information voter. Just have a look at this ill-informed, emotional diatribe about Republican Marsha Blackburn.
Taylor Swift comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I'm saying right now that this is something that I know is right, and you guys, I need to be on the right side of history. And if he doesn't win, then at least I tried. It really is a big deal to me. She votes against fair pay for women. She votes against the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act, which is just basically protecting us from domestic abuse and stalking. She thinks that if you're a gay couple, or even if you look like a gay couple, you should be allowed to be kicked out of a restaurant. It's really basic human rights, and it's right and wrong at this point. And I can't see another commercial and see her disguising these policies behind the words Tennessee Christian values.
That's from Swift's 2020 Netflix documentary, Miss Americana. And the nonsense she's spewing there is about Republican Marsha Blackburn. And guess what? Even in her home state in 2018, Taylor's activism failed to move the dial. Marsha Blackburn won with a big majority in Tennessee. Huge. Now let's check in with the mad ramblings of the ladies of The View. And apparently it's opposite day on the program, because despite 2 assassination attempts against Donald Trump in as many months and a number of other violent attacks from the left, it is the Republicans and Trump that are to blame. Let's hear this angry tirade from Whoopi Goldberg. Remember when she was likeable and sane?
And also, let's stop this thing. Let's stop this both sides stuff.
It's a bunch, yeah.
Because it's not correct. Right. It is not both sides. It is one clear side. And you can point to many, many reports. You can point to all kinds of stuff that's been reported. You guys have to pull it back. This is not us or them. This is you got to stop doing what you're doing, JD, and what you're doing, Mr. T, because you are not helping the situation.
Projection and lies, that's all the left have. They accuse their opponents of precisely what they're guilty of. And we have another lady from The View, Chief Nincompoop Ana Navarro, who went on CNN to share more conspiracy theories. She's moved on from the Russian collusion hoax business. Now she's suddenly worried about the folks in Springfield, Ohio.
The problem is that Donald Trump, who I think, if you were doing hurricane categories, he's on hurricane category 5, whereas the other side might be a 2. And Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are not questioning their rhetoric. Right now, because of their rhetoric, because of what he said in that debate, there's been 33 bombing threats in Springfield, Ohio. That would not have happened but for this false conspiracy theory being spread by the vice presidential and presidential Republican candidate. And those Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, and those students and the people that are victims of these threats and everything that's going on there don't have 24/7 Secret Service.
right? They're on their own.
You know, she forgot to mention a couple of key facts, and I know the few ladies and CNN are allergic to facts, but every single bomb threat was a hoax, and the Ohio governor has confirmed that the hoaxes originated from overseas. I wonder who could be behind these bomb threat hoaxes? Who's the most to gain? Donald Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, has been schooling the leftist activists in the US media. Here's one example.
President Biden passed a series of executive actions, and illegal border crossings are now at their lowest levels in about 5 years, so much so that Greg Abbott is no longer busing people to other cities. But let me ask this fundamental question.
Please.
Will families be separated under your mass deportation?
And again, I do want to answer this question about families and about deportations, but you made this point that border crossings are lower. Border crossings at the southern border are lower because the Harris administration is sending more immigrants through the ports of entry. So instead of coming through the southern border, they're now being flown at taxpayer expense to the ports of entry all over our country. The number of illegal crossings, they're not any lower. They're just shuffling how the people are coming into the country in the first place. And this is very important.
They're able to process them more efficiently, but Greg Abbott's not setting them to other states.
I don't want a border czar who makes it more efficient for illegal immigrants to come into this country. That's why we have the problem that we have.
Let's hear from a lefty explaining why they believe conservatives are weird. Can't wait to hear this.
What is something weird about conservatives?
There is almost a cultish vibe, I feel. The way they operate within themselves, they refuse to listen to outside people, you know, they're refusing to learn, essentially. I think that is a large part of it.
Perfect. Yep, they're the folks calling you weird for believing in biological reality, borders, law and order. Let's go to New York now, where dyeing your armpit hair pink is now an expression of gender identity. Confused? Watch this.
Have you ever gone to a salon to dye your armpit and eyebrow hair? Well, if you haven't, now's your chance.
This Pride Month, Billy is hosting a complimentary
that means free
hair affirmation station at Happy Place Studio in New York City, where you can get your body hair styled and dyed.
For me, expressing myself through my hair is such an important part of feeling confident in my appearance as a queer person.
Not only does dyeing my hair make me feel empowered, it helps affirm my gender identity too.
Dyeing our hair together has always been a bonding experience, and having this opportunity at a salon instead of at home has just been really exciting and fun.
You know, the Democrats must be getting desperate because they're sending celebrities to door knock and hug constituents in the swing states. Here is Hanoi Jane Fonda door knocking in Michigan.
I've never done this for a president. I've done it for, I had an ex-husband who came from Royal Oak, Michigan. Ooh. I've done it for him. But I've never done it for a president, but this is most important.
Oh, definitely.
We have to get them elected.
Talking about kooky celebs, remember when Howard Stern was edgy and cool? Me neither, I'm not 100. Stern is only getting worse. Listen to this bile-filled rant about Trump supporters.
I hate the guy. I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid. I do. I'll be honest with you. I have no respect for you.
Now to one of the Democrats' biggest celebrity backers, Puff Daddy P. Diddy, Sean Combs. He has many names and is now facing many serious charges. But it wasn't long ago that P. Diddy was endorsing Democrats, raising money for them and running vote campaigns. He was so prolific and effective that Jimmy Kimmel wanted him to run for president. Remember this?
Maybe you could be president. Do you ever think about anything like that?
No. What about you?
Yeah, and I wouldn't do a better job, but I think I would, you know what, I would, if you agreed to run for president, I would be happy to be your running mate. Let's put it that way, all right?
Now to CBS, where a reporter had this triggering news for lefties about the battleground state of Nevada. It seems nowadays Nevada is MAGA country.
But what was really incredible is in every single restaurant of the people willing to talk to us, we could only find one Harris supporter in every restaurant, and we left no stone unturned. I approached every single person.
Now, every now and then, CNN allow a lone figure from the centre-right to appear on one of their panels to be typically bashed by lefties, but here Scott Jennings manages to extract from the CNN crew that they know the bloodbath lie is a lie, but they allow it to be aired daily without correction or context.
It is said by every Democrat working for or around her campaign every day on this network and every other one. The bloodbath thing is stated every single day.
Okay, let me
But my point is, dictator, bloodbath, eliminate Constitution.
Hold on.
What do you think that does?
Let's just clear this up. You're referring to Trump's use of the word bloodbath when he was talking.
And what was he talking about?
I'm going to explain it to people because I think there's confusion about this. Use of the word bloodbath when he was talking about, vehicle manufacturing jobs in the United States. Vice President Harris improperly and unfairly mischaracterized that as him saying there would be a bloodbath if he were elected. However, she did not say that if Trump were elected, there would be a bloodbath. She did not say
I know you have interviewed and had people out here and have watched the same coverage I have. The bloodbath garbage is it is a pillar of the Democratic campaign against Trump, as is dictator, as is eliminate the U.S. Constitution.
And here is Don Lemon on CNN spewing a bunch of lies and hyperbole, including the aforementioned bloodbath lie. This is all to show that the assassination attempts against Trump are, well, his own fault.
Crooked Joe, crooked Hillary, crooked Kamala, Comrade Kamala, deranged Jack Smith, bird brain Nikki Haley, bloodbath if he's not elected. There won't be another election if he's not elected. Bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, poisoning the blood of our country, destroying the blood of our country, which was something that was Hitler-esque. Communist, Marxist.
And that's it from me tonight. I'll see you Sunday morning for Outsiders. Good night.